Pretty much, pretty much. That's the that's what I'm excited for. It's like Zest has been so dominant in these weekly tournaments. Same with Cure. But like after Zest leaves, what happens to ESL Asia?
Creator takes over.
Creator.
That's a Protoss representative. Well, Creator or Hero, I think, have been the two most consistent Protoss signups.
Yeah. Like I guess what I was referring to is that not necessarily who's going to be the Protoss representative, but who's going to be the reigning champion. Like who's going to be the dominant force? You know, who's going to take up the hole that Zest leaves, right?
That's a good question, actually. My mind is on Cure, or my money's on Cure, but because Cure isn't as committed, shall we say, as Zest is, right? Where Zest will have his finals match of Code S the next day, but he'll still play in ESL Open Cup Asia and go all the way to the finals and win the whole thing as well. I'll never forget last year's Katowice.
Yeah.
He was literally... He won his quarterfinals match a couple hours before, played in ESL Asia, won the whole thing, and then played in his semifinals match and the finals a couple hours later. It's like, Jesus Christ, that's... Cure, not quite as committed as that, but yeah, I'd imagine he would be the one to pick up the pieces. Anyway, that's enough speculation, because now we've got a game. We're going to be kicking off our series on 2000's Atmosphere, LE, and in the top right-hand corner map, running all the way in the top right-hand corner, you got a blue Protoss player coming down from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Zest.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmosphere's LE, we have his opponent, the other grand finalist, the Korean Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. Are you catching up on chat?
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, on stream I was talking about it. I was having a discussion with Aries about his military service and his residency and all this stuff. So that kind of came up.
And how Aries can't get citizenship because he hasn't technically completed his military.
Yeah. He got close.
Loophole.
He almost did.
He almost did, but the army didn't want to pay him, so
yeah, he broke his leg. So because of that, he couldn't complete it. Similarly, like if Yaku was any other person, he would have to do his military service, but you're getting away with it.
And you know what the funny part is?
What?
I have citizenship.
Well, they're not gonna just take it away. You were born in Singapore. Like, what the hell? Are you gonna lord that over Aries? Like, mate, guess what? I didn't do my military, and I got my citizenship. I'm a citizen. What are you gonna do about it?
Well, the funny thing is, though, at any point they might, because it's like they put a disclaimer, which realistically they're not gonna do it, but they put a disclaimer in the letter they gave you. It was like, look, you currently are too broken for us to enlist. But if at any point we decide that you're not, you either give up your citizenship or do military.
Yeah. What does that mean? Is it possible? Here's a question to the people and to yourself. I don't think you have an answer. Is it possible to not be a citizen of any country? Is that possible?
It is actually, yeah.
How does that work?
They're called refugees.
No, but like even refugees are citizens from their origin country, right? Like technically. They don't lose their citizenship when they leave.
Some of them do.
Okay, maybe some of them.
I think there's like a term. There's like a stateless, stateless whatchamacalls it. But
is that what Ares is gonna be? Is that? Is he gonna be some lawless rogue who just has no place to call
renegade.
home?
Just drifts from land to land, doing flips.
Oh my god.
Doing flips for coins.
Shaking my head.
I want somebody to write that movie now. The Legendaries.
It's gonna be an awful movie.
You're gonna forget all his lines.
It's gonna be full of phoenixes, mate. Meanwhile, talking a little bit more about this game, we had some pretty standard openers. I say standard. Zest opted not to open up with Blink. He avoided the Twilight Council, went for a Stargate instead, and he's already across the map with his first Oracle, but only one, as he's working on his Phoenixes instead.
Yeah, opting for that Stargate opener instead of a Blink Stalker opener here. Zest, what can we say? He likes his Stargate play. He likes his Phoenixes.
Yeah, that he does. Meanwhile, oh my god, we had a bit of a Widowmine drop. I missed it. Zest missed it. Those 11 drones didn't miss it. They got it right in the face, mate.
Perfect catch.
Jesus.
They caught the Widowmine shot with their faces.
Yep. And just like that, ByuN with a really nice move. This is something a lot of Protoss players have been complaining about, and this is the purpose of this Phoenix opener. Ideally, it should have been in position to deny this drop, but unfortunately, Zest had it in his main, not in his natural. Now he's down in workers, but it is his turn to try and reciprocate that damage.
There's definitely a lot you can do with 3 Phoenixes and an Oracle, but the Marines and Cyclones aren't making it easy for him. Best case scenario, I think Zest maybe snipes the Raven.
Yeah, we'll see if he can do so. I mean, he's trying to pick off whatever he can. He does take out one of these SCVs. Cyclone exposes itself a little bit, but oh, Zest is a little bit too slow to counterattack or to turn around. Meanwhile, the Adepts are here, and again, looking ready to shade in. Oh!
Or at least on top of the mineral line. A lot of Adepts here pulls the entire army. I was going to say out of position, but yeah, Zest actually collapses with everything he's got to try to consolidate his forces. A lot of SCVs are going down, but ByuN not out of it yet.
Wow, yeah, I'm honestly surprised by how much damage these Adepts did. I thought that ByuN would clean this up because his whole army was here, but all of these Marines were distracted by the Phoenixes. They just, their DPS wasn't at the natural base, and as a result, 14 SCVs have gone down, and just like that, Zest, like, ties it up when it comes to the worker damage.
Ties it up when it comes to worker damage, pulls ahead when it comes to the worker count. These are losses that I think ByuN doesn't mind getting early on, though, as he has no plans of getting a third base up and running for quite some time. Everything he's building right now is going for a big push, and he doesn't even need to push. GG is called as Zest loses his entire army.
GG, well played. Ay, ay, ay. And yeah, that's what I thought he was saying. Seal Mode is like, this conversation is getting dark. He's out of the tournament. Awful, mate. Awful.
Beautiful.
Oh my god. And yeah, that was an interesting game one. Very
That was an explosive game one.
It really was. It was over before it began, mate. Oh.
I thought we were thinking the same thing. You were about to say explosive as I cut you off.
No, all good. All good.
Apologize.
But just like that, ByuN takes the first game. Again, Zest did slip up a little bit, and he was very committed with his build. Like, it was supposed to, again, overwhelm and just end the game. And it did deal a lot of SCV damage, but not enough.
Not quite. I do think that Zest could have stayed on for a little while longer and tried to get something done, but I guess he wasn't remaking his probes back at home. He was very all in with that position, and he knew that as long as ByuN kept enough of his army alive, that counterattack was gonna deal massive damage.
Oh yeah.
And ByuN did keep a lot of his army alive, so yeah, it makes sense. Anyway, we're gonna be continuing our series now on Kaliningrad LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have a blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He's going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. You know him as Best. Others know him as Zest.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Kaliningrad LE, we have the South Korean Terran player. He is red, representing Shopify Rebellion. Winning game one, it is ByuN.
Actually, I really just realized that My intro makes no sense because at best plays Brute War.
Awful. Awful. Oh, God. Yaku, if you could be a Korean player, what name would you have?
What name would I have?
Yeah. What word
If I
would
was
you
Korean?
what words would you pick out of the dictionary
Okay.
and just uses your name?
I want to pick a name. What's a word that sounds cool but doesn't actually means something very mundane?
Uh like a lot of the good ones are taken, that's the problem.
Iron.
Iron? Iron?
I mean that as in the mineral, not the element.
Iron?
No, actually I would pick something food related probably. Magnesium.
Magnesium. What do you mean? What does that mean?
No, magnesium isn't a mineral. No, wait, magnesium is. No, I'm thinking of something else.
What
probably.
what are you talking about?
Ammonium. Ammonia.
Ammonia? What? You're gonna be rivals with Cure, mate. Let's go. Disease. Like, I mean, there was horror, and there was terror.
Plague.
Like, there have been these players that take names like that.
I have.
Plague is actually related to StarCraft. That could work.
There we go.
You know,
No, but then
Zerg,
people would think I'm a Zerg player. Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be the issue.
Oh my god.
That's a little delay on the natural base.
Mm-hmm.
As ByuN, getting ready for a 3-racks.
That he is. We do have the additional Raxes thrown down. Zest hasn't seen any of this, by the way, but the Adept's looking to shade in. Up. He gets in!
Oh!
No.
Dives right on top of this.
Uh,
Sees everything about to be thrown his way, and now ByuN. I mean, it's too late for him to switch gears. He has to commit to the 3-racks, but Zest has more than enough time to prepare for it.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we'll see what ByuN decides to do from here. He could be like, you know what, you may have seen what I'm doing, but that doesn't mean you can stop it and try to execute it anyway. Or he could just, again, open up with this, just establish and protect his natural, and then transition from here and, you know, throw down eBays and eventually get into, like, factory starport production.
Which is gonna have to if he's gonna have to transition to. Again, I don't think this 3-racks is gonna be enough to kill Zest, but you know, maybe enough to take out natural base or delete a mineral line.
Yeah. Exactly. Meanwhile, Zest once again opened up with that Stargate, so Oracle gets across the map. Oh, nothing shoots up, and he's been working on Marauders, and he doesn't have access to a Cyclone or a Viking or anything. I think that, mate, there's nothing to stop the Oracle.
Yeah, the best hope I think ByuN has right now is to hope for the Oracle to run out of energy. Actually, it actually takes a surprising amount of damage, but it's not dead yet. 6 SCVs go down, and if ByuN doesn't reciprocate, then that's just GG.
I mean, we have a shield battery, we have overcharge, boys are getting ready to be pulled. Like, Zest is set up for this push despite the upgrades, despite concussive shell, and ByuN turns around.
Just like so.
Aye. Meanwhile, I mean, this army is still out here, and again, we're waiting for combat shields, we're waiting for stim, so maybe ByuN is going to try and work on a follow-up and just consolidate his army, but, oh, I don't know if he can out DPS 2 shield batteries with overcharge. Maybe he can with stim. Maybe he can.
Well, we'll see. That stim is also going to be the only stim that ByuN's going to get here. Not transitioning out yet. I mean, he does need to stabilize the economy before he even has a chance of doing so.
Yeah. I like how you just happen to start talking about stabilizing the economy, and it's like, well, he just loses more SCVs to that one Oracle because he still doesn't have any goddamn missile turrets.
I also just realized that he still doesn't have stim yet. It's only halfway done.
Yeah.
I just assumed that was the first thing he worked on.
No, it was the last thing he worked on.
Yeah,
it was the last thing he worked on. He worked on concussive shell first because he wanted to hit a Marauder timing. Oh!
Revenge of the Marines. He will not have to worry about that Oracle for anytime soon, but he does still have to worry about this Colossus coming his way.
Yeah, Zest, he immediately threw down that Robotics Bay after he was able to defend at the Naturals. So again, he's cutting a little bit of corners to tech up incredibly quickly, but the Colossus is definitely a way to just shut down this mass bio army.
There's still a bit of kiting here from ByuN, but those are some even better force fields from Zest. Is this me?
It's someone. Oh,
no! Dave!
Dave, please.
Sorry.
Not like this.
Emil!
Emil, ¿por qué?
Dave!
Well,
oh boy.
Yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. Hopefully everything's okay over on Dave's end. If he's able to resolve his issues, then maybe he can come back in another game, but it looks like he will be timed out of game 2.
Unfortunately. You know, that's actually what I would choose as my name. Ethernet.
Ethernet. That sounds cool. I like it.
Yeah, exactly.
Depending on how you spell it.
Depending on the capitalizations going down. Yeah.
Meanwhile, Zest,
Alright.
he's getting ready to send it. What I mean by that, we have War Prism speed, we have a War Prism on the way, we have 5 gateways, a massive gateway explosion. Zest, now it's his turn to push out across the map.
8 gates, that's sometimes all you need. Everything is making its way across. ByuN, his army is in the middle of a map right now, and he honestly doesn't have much of an army anyway.
I mean, it is a kind of a base trade scenario. We'll see if he recalls. The Marines are going to come in. What is happening this game?
Pure chaos is the answer. Beautiful force fields. Honestly, not much of a buffer here for this Colossus. He's got a lot of sentries, but that's about it. Apparently, that's enough though to wipe out the defenses of ByuN back at home.
Yeah, and you know what? We just had a warp in across the map. I was thinking, hey, if he just warps in a couple of sentries at home, he can just force field the ramp. Like, there's no medevac. There's no way to come out. But Zest doesn't warp in at home, so he's just committing to the base trade.
Which, I mean, he knows he can, in all likelihood, win this base trade anyway.
Oh, the Colossus!
Oh, but ByuN pulls the boys. Yeah, the Colossus is getting dangerously low. There's still one tank here that's honestly going to be dealing a ton of damage. There's a Viking out now.
Oh, God.
I love that ByuN didn't neglect that.
The micros.
And it's not much anti-air.
Exactly, and eventually Zest will clean all this up, but as you said, the only anti-air is that one sentry, and soon there's going to be no recall because all the Nexuses are being sniped.
Yeah, there's actually a third base for Zest that ByuN isn't aware of, but he needs to be pretty soon. Zest realizes that he can't afford to leave his Colossus in a very vulnerable position, decides to send it back home.
Yeah, like...
or not.
I actually warps in a Stalker. Stalker, please! Puppy, please! Jump!
I don't think that Stalker is going to be enough, but the Colossus did restore a lot of shields, which is something.
We're in a weird place right now because these Marines are pretty heavily overstimmed. If they fight one Colossus, they will kill it. But maybe with force fields, there's a world where Zest can out-micro this army.
Here's the thing, ByuN can force a draw, can't he? He just needs to realize that there is a third base somewhere here for Zest.
Yeah. This will be either a draw or...
Look, it's either a draw. It's either 1, ByuN forces a draw. 2, ByuN gives up the game.
Recalls.
Or 3, Zest defends his third base wins.
It's not going to be a draw because Zest can make probes.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's not going to be a draw at all. It's going to go one way or the other. And here we go. Zest is going up his ramp into his main base. Oh god, the stim! The force field's not up there.
Count, but yeah, he has a larger army, but his army is so badly overstimmed. That Viking was honestly the last hope of ByuN's army. With that, It's still not going to be a draw because ByuN can still mine.
ByuN has
Both
mules.
players can still mine.
Yeah, ByuN has mules. He's got 2 bases out here. He has some production. He has 3 Raxes, which is not what you want, but he is working on tech labs for that Marauder production. He's got to get it up and running soon, and Zest has to be really careful. He's splitting up his army. He's looking for buildings, and if he runs into a squad of Marauders, like, or if this Viking catches the Colossus alone, like, it could be disastrous for Zest.
Really could. The Immortal and the Stalker can do a lot, but the backbone of Zest forces right now are in the Colossus. There are a couple of Marauders here, and that's a lone.
Yeah.
That's a lone. That's a no.
May the Colossus reveals itself.
You
The
just need to
Marauders.
stim on top of that.
The boys. Oh no! Oh no! The Colossus. No!
And he doesn't have a recall. That Colossus goes down.
Oh my god!
Is ByuN actually gonna win this? No.
I think that's it, mate.
Zest has no production.
Yeah, he's got no production. He's got some gateways, but he just needs resources, and he needs to warp in. He needs an economy. And I think ByuN just did it. That Colossus was so important. That's it.
This has been, without a doubt, the weirdest TVP I've ever cast.
Yeah, like 2 Immortals, a Stalker, a Zealot, and a Colossus together would have won, 100%. But Zest split up his entire army, and one by one, all of his units are getting picked off.
That's just waiting out that Guardian Shell, and
Yeah, that's
well,
it.
Here's the thing: ByuN still doesn't know about that third base, does he? Or does he?
He does. He's seen
He
it.
does. Okay.
Yeah, he was harassing with his Viking earlier. He landed a Viking to kill some probes. Do we have charge? We don't have charge, mate. Zest never made his wild account, so he doesn't have any upgrades. It's slow lots, mate.
It's a slow lots versus the stimmed bio.
Oh my god.
Gotta be honest, I think I favor concussive shells for some reason.
Yeah, for some reason, GG gets called. ByuN takes it.
I love what we just witnessed here. GG. ByuN now a match point. It could have ended in a draw. Let's be real. But it didn't.
Oh my god,
Oh, man.
Zest needs to watch Planet of the Apes, mate.
Original or reboot?
The reboot. What do they say? Apes together strong, right? Apes. You gotta bring you gotta all army hotkey. You gotta bring everything together. You know, the Protoss Death Ball. That's what you need. That's what you want. Not just all your units split up so vulnerably like that. Oh god.
Yeah. Like, it can work if they're expendable gateway units, but
Yeah.
not hyper expensive robo units like Colossus and whatnot.
Crazy. Oh god. Well, with that, GG, well played at the end of this. Mate, one of our players is already on match point.
Yep. And we were talking about ByuN's momentum. You give him an inch, he takes a mile. Alright then. We're gonna continue our series on Hardwire Ellie. We're in the top right hand corner, map spawning all the way in the top right hand corner. We have a blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. In a lot of trouble now. Honestly, he is. Gonna be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He needs to pull something off, and we'll see if he does it. He is Zest.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion. Currently up 2-0 in this best of 5 grand finals. It is ByuN.
Chat just catching up to the very end there. Password mules. They are much better than SCVs. I agree with you there.
I'm not gonna lie, I saw Steel Mold's his comment, and I thought he said, "This is so dumb," and I was like, "Yep."
Look, just because it's dumb doesn't mean it's stupid.
Yeah, that was insane what just happened. Like, there was so much that went wrong for Zest and went right for ByuN. Like, Zest was defending so well on 2 bases. He was taking up to Colossus. He has his production that was getting up and running. Like, if we had a head-on engagement, army versus army, Zest would have won. He would have won so hard, but ByuN just avoided it completely, and like that was just wild.
Everything went so right for ByuN there that if this was a book or a drama or something, we call it bad writing, but this is the reality. ByuN, he has plot armor IRL.
Yeah, that was a clown fiesta, mate. That was oh my god. Alright, well here we go. We're in game 3, potentially the final game. ByuN, oh my god, opening up with Concussive Shell.
May as well.
May as well.
But won him game number 2, so yeah.
Sure, question mark. Oh my god. So, of course, ByuN is going to be pushing out with some Marauders. The power of this is that if this goes unscouted, gateway units will be kited to death, and then the Marauders can move on forward. They can focus down shield batteries, they can focus down pylons, like, things can get out of hand.
It's very much on Zest to prevent that from happening. Here's the thing though, despite prioritizing his Marauders and Concussive Shell, ByuN's using them a lot more defensively.
Yeah, he was just chilling here at home, banking up that Marauder count finally. ByuN, he's moving out, but this has been scouted, so Zest, he's going to come back home, and he should be getting his defenses up and running. So the Marauders don't really do too much, and yeah, they're just going to chill.
They've already chased the stalker across the map, so anything further than that would be an overextension.
Yeah, it's one of those things where the Concussive Shell Marauder, they're all about the surprise factor, and when there's no surprise, well then there's no factor.
That's a good name. Surprise and factor, both.
Surprise?
Of them. Yeah.
Surprise. Yeah. That's a great name actually. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
GG, surprise wins ESL Open Cup.
Surprise! GG! It's great.
No, that's great. That's great. Looking at you, Keen. Oh, God.
I'm actually kind of thankful that we don't have a Korean player named Surprise yet. I don't think Oli would let us cast anything if there was one.
Oh god, we do have Last Surprise, which is an American player, but that's a little bit, you know, he missed the mark there.
Dramatic, yeah.
Yeah,
it's not mundane enough.
Exactly, in one word, that's all you need.
Yeah,
and you gotta make sure the capitalization doesn't make any sense either. I still don't think I can write innovation off by heart with the correct capitalization.
I still don't know whether or not the V and the T is capitalized. I know which N is capitalized, but that's why I just call him Inno instead of innovation when I write it out, you know.
Meanwhile, here we go. We have another
Zest.
Up.
Is it too late? It's not too late. Okay. Whew.
Oh my god, but it's not over because only one Wood of My shot went off. Meanwhile, we have another 2 headed towards the natural base. At the same time, we have a blink into the main base, and these Wood of Mines are not at home to defend.
That they aren't, but I tell you what, these Concussive Shells and Marauders are paying off big time here.
Ooh. And finally,
Wood of My connections.
Yeah, finally the Wood of Mines, they get off, they get picked up, they're going to be able to live to fire another day. At the same time, Zest is not done. He still desperately wants to find some damage, but again, those Marauders, they're just holding the line. They won't fall.
Now we know who the real immortals are. Stim is about to finish up as well. Really nice positioning here of the tech lab from ByuN, preventing a snipe from going off. And that Warp Prism is starting to get dangerously low on health.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, he's still trying to jungle. He's still trying to be a little bit cute and do whatever he can. He does pick off one Marauder at least, but oh my god, the Widow Mines come back in and 8 more go down.
Even as a Terran player, I feel like if I watched that Widow Mine connection, I would have had a heart attack.
Oh my god. So after all said and done, after the dust settles, ByuN honestly has come out on top, right? Because of that Concussive Shell, like his Marauders have been able to hold the line and the Stalkers haven't gotten out of control, and he was able to deal damage across the map. But Zest isn't done. He's still here. He's still very committed to this.
Even more committed with that Dark Shrine on the way. We should right now be at the point where ByuN is, really starting to turn the tables. Stim is finished up. He's got Medivacs out, so he can't afford to Stim a little willy-nilly, but Zest is doing such a good job of keeping ByuN back for so long. He's splitting his focus between the Warp Prism and the Stalkers.
Like, this is where we start to see the problem of delaying factory production and not relying on any tanks, right? Like, ByuN, every single stim hurts him that much more, and because of the Blinkstalker micro from Zest, like, he's been able to just trade that much more efficiently against the army.
Yeah, it's like there's nothing really keeping Zest from aggressively blinking, right? If need be, he can always blink away. That's a bit of an unfortunate cancel.
Yeah, but here we go. The Dark Shrine is done. 4 DTs are on the way. We do have a Mrs. Heart that's being thrown down at the natural base, but the DT reveals itself.
ByuN doesn't have scan yet.
No, he muled. He just threw down 2 fresh mules.
And that missile tower will be taken out. Did I say missile tower? Missile turret.
It will be taken out. DTs are all over the place. Looks like one turret will finish up here in the main base. That's great and all, but there's still nothing here at the natural. DTs are going uncontested. SCVs are falling left and right, and the Stalkers are still not dealt with.
There is finally a scan available here. And ByuN will clean up. I think he actually was able to take out the Warp Prism as well? Just barely. So that's a massive weight off of ByuN's shoulders, but just look at that worker supply difference.
Yeah.
ByuN has a nice army, but he needs to push out now.
That's the thing, right? Zest, he's comfortably on 3 bases, 66 drones, 66 probes. Sorry, that's what you want on 3 base saturation. He's working on his second robo, double robo production for Colossus, for Disruptors. He's got everything he needs. ByuN has to go now, as you were saying. Otherwise, it'll just be too far gone.
Honestly, at this point, if you're Zest, it's warping a couple of defensive DTs, and that's all you really need, right?
Pretty much. Even this one DT is being so annoying, just swiping away at the army, forces a scans that ByuN can't afford. He needs the mules, he needs that money.
Absolutely does. Working on third base, not quite yet. Oh, actually, he already has one. Okay.
Oh. Yeah, he does land that on location. Meanwhile, there we go. 2 Colossus being pumped out at a time. Zest trying to catch any kind of drop, head towards his main base. He's well aware of that threat from ByuN. And ByuN, instead, backs off and just establishes that third.
And even still, he's having trouble getting that up and running. Zest relentless with these ZTs. He can afford to keep warping them in and in and in and in and in and in. He has taken no economic damage aside from that Widowmine drop earlier.
Pretty much. And to be fair, it did do a lot of damage. If it wasn't for those Widowmines, then ByuN would be dead in the water right now. Like that really did keep him in this game. But to what avail, right? Like, we have shield batteries, we have overcharge, we have a very solid Protoss army. Like, despite the sheer amount of marauders you have, it doesn't even matter.
Not one bit, especially when a couple of Immortals get thrown into the mix. Or when a couple more Immortals get thrown into the mix, rather.
Yeah, Immortals, charge lots, all that good stuff. But that's also why ByuN, it's so important for him to transition, and we are seeing Ghosts on the way. Ghost Academy was done for quite some time now, and EMPs will definitely change the tide of this battle, but he doesn't have it ready. Oh!
Not quite yet, trying to get that Warp Prism, but the Stalkers and Zealots act as enough of a buffer. Been backing away now, just waiting for those Ghosts to come out, for these Vikings to pop out. A couple of well-placed EMPs can be enough to turn the tides of this battle. But he just doesn't have it.
Yeah, no, that's the Ghost Academy is so exposed as well. It's a part of the wall at the natural, but you know what? Zest, he doesn't even care about the Ghost Academy. He's like, you know what? You can have your Ghost. I'm just going to go and take your third.
And a very quick warp-in coming down, and at this point, ByuN is going to need a miracle.
Yeah, I mean, the Colossus are exposed, so he is going to be able to snipe one Colossus, maybe a second Colossus. Beautiful target fire there by ByuN, but what about the charge lots?
Yeah, all things considered, I think ByuN traded as efficiently as he could. But
Yeah.
Zest just has so much to work with.
Exactly.
At this point.
It just goes to show how far ahead Zest really was. He can lose every single one of his Colossus. It doesn't matter. His Gateway army is still incredibly formidable behind this. Fourth base gets up and running. It's already getting saturated. Ghost Academy again, because of its position, it is going to be sniped.
He, funnily enough, actually completes the EMP upgrade just before it could get sniped, but he doesn't have any ghosts to utilize it, so it doesn't really matter in the end. GG is called, and Zest fights back, makes a series out of this finals, and takes us to game number 4.
Thank God.
And I thought game 2 was a Clown Fiesta.
Yeah. It's great to see Zest fighting back. It is not going to be a 3-0. It's going to be a little bit more dynamic than that. And can Zest fight his way back after, again, very dynamic game 1 and game 2s. Like, it was, again, I don't know how to describe game 1 and game 2. It was insane.
It really was. Well, I know how to describe game 2.
How would you?
The weirdest goddamn TVP I've ever cast.
Clown Fiesta, man. That's what that was.
Absolutely. Yeah. And now we're continuing on a pretty clownish map, all things considered.
I also love what Steel Mode is saying. Surprise is a player who always plays standard and meta and never ever proxies or hides in ninja bases. It reminds me of innovation.
Yeah.
Player who doesn't innovate.
So it goes, yeah.
Feels bad, man.
I mean... Yeah, I guess refinement is different from innovating. Refining is different from innovating, yeah. But anyway, we're going to be continuing our series now. I'm Pride of Altaris, LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, starting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have a player who does live up to his name. The blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He, of course, is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. He is refreshing. He is Zest.
What? And spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Pride of Altaris LE, we have a player who still only needs one more win to be our ESL Open Cup Asia 106 champion. Representing Shopify Rebellion, it is ByuN.
I vaguely recall now, years past, where, I'm not sure if you can call it, it was kind of like an impromptu-ish interview at one of the IEMs, where Zest mentioned that actually his name had nothing to do with citrus, or like, the zest from a citrus at all. It was something about like, how do you describe it? It's like, that sort of, whatchamacallit, you know? That like being it was less about the citrus kind of type of zest, but the more metaphorical kind of zesty person. You know?
Yeah. Spicy in a way.
Yeah.
Not really spicy, but you know, I get what you mean.
Yeah. Guy who's just loving life, you know.
Yeah.
Full of energy and whatnot.
Zest of life, you know.
Yeah. Which was awkward because a lot of people gave him limes and stuff in that IEM. A lot of fans.
Did they? Did they actually?
I know Hajin made him pose with a lime wedge or something.
That's amazing. That's amazing. If you name yourself KBBQ, would your fans get you Korean barbecue? Is that?
I hope. That's what I'm gonna do.
I mean, it makes sense for Ryung, right? He does get some tuna cans.
Yeah.
What's happened? That's the meta you want to be going for your name.
Yeah.
You know, you got to think ahead, right?
Dude, his parents were thinking so far ahead.
Oh yeah.
But he's never gonna starve. Fans are gonna give him so much tuna.
It's gonna be beautiful, mate. It's gonna be insane. Meanwhile, speaking of the game itself and how Zest is doing, once again, just like game number 1, he's opting to not go for a Twilight Council with Blink, instead does go for the Stargate.
Yeah, a little bit more defensive and a little bit more harassment focused than a Blink Stalker opening. Does mean that the Phoenixes will be able to ideally lift up the Widow Mines before they can borrow.
Yeah, I think you said something very important, and that's the fact that this time Zest actually didn't opt to go for an Oracle. He just went straight for Phoenixes. ByuN tries to regain control of the low ground, but actually takes a lot of losses on his Marines.
Yeah, this early on, this can have a knock-on effect. Just really worried about that adept.
Yeah, like this is what happens when you skip your bunker on the low ground. Like typically, especially when you open up Marine like this, you get a bunker on the low ground, so then you can actually, protect your mineral line, you can protect your base, and it's just something that didn't happen. Boys are pulled, and that means SCVs are going down here to eventually stop finally mining. Oh my god.
I remember being scolded by you in particular one too many times for skipping out in the bunker.
I mean, while the drop actually gets caught in the middle of the map. Again, this is exactly how game 1 should have turned out for Zest. This is what he wanted to do. If you remember, he had all these Phoenixes, but he was out of position, and the Widow Mine still dealt all that damage. But this time, he does catch the drop.
Everything going right for him this time. May even be able to lift up this mine. Yeah, he gets it.
Mine gets shut down as well, and ByuN, what can he do from here? He hasn't seen anything across the map. He hasn't been able to scout at all. Obviously, he knows now that it has been a Stargate opener, but where will things go from here?
Something more ground focused, it seems. As S does transition to his Twilight Council. He's not too committed on the Phoenixes. He just wants to have a little bit of a strike force and a little bit of presence on the map, as well as the ability to deal some crowd control if need be. Once again, pretty strange, honestly, from ByuN. He gets the bunker and then immediately salvages it.
He really does, but he's trying to catch these Phoenixes, and the Cyclone's getting in a beautiful position. He scans, and he's gonna try and get 2 of them, but actually he gets none.
Yeah, he deals a lot of hull damage, which is something. Zest has to be a little bit more careful when he positions those Phoenixes on the map, but
yeah,
at the end of the day, he does need to remake them, which is always nice.
Well, that's the problem, right? ByuN even invested a scan into that to no avail. So, F's in the chat there for ByuN. Thankfully, though, it's not like he hasn't been forgetting about the later stages of this game. His CC is nicely timed. He's about to get his 3rd up and running. Zest already has his, starting to now saturate it, and you were talking about a ground composition earlier. Charge is on the way.
There we go. Phoenix Chargelet, that's a composition that you see every now and then in PvT. Can be absolutely devastating. Well, when it comes to defense anyway, it can absolutely shut down early pushes from the Terran player.
Oh yeah.
All the while you're just building up for your late game composition.
I mean, this is why we brought it up earlier. Like, again, ByuN hasn't been across the map. He hasn't been further than the halfway point. He hasn't seen a single thing because of these Phoenixes, because of this map control. He's just been stuck at home. So Zest has been free to just probe up, take more bases, tech up as well, just do whatever he wants at home. I don't know about this, though.
Well, the Zealots got right on top of the tank,
True.
So at least he had some value here. Meanwhile, the Phoenixes do pick off quite a number of SCVs. He'll finally lose a couple, but the Phoenixes have sort of served their purpose here.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised that this small, meager gateway force actually killed the tank.
That's what happens when you leave your door wide open.
Yeah, it looked like the SimCity was kind of working against ByuN there. Like, he had a bunch of Marines, but he wasn't necessarily protecting his tank. They were off to the side instead. Yeah, kind of a weird engagement.
To say the least. I mean, That's pretty much the theme of this entire series, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a little bit odd. Speaking of things that are a little bit odd, Zest is trying to slow down this push, actually catches some reinforcements, actually forces this back home as well.
Okay. Really important for Zest to have done so, because Zest is still in the middle of transitioning. Storm only now about to be finishing up. He only now finishes up those extra gateways that he wanted to get.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, imagine a world where this army, this Terran army, pushes out before Storm, right? Like, maybe he could have made something happen, but Storm is now done. We do have some High Templar here in this War Prism. Ooh, but Zest is actually completely avoiding the army. Okay, thank God. I was like, please don't go for another base trade. Dude, not again. Yeah. Not again, Zest.
He's learned. Battery overcharge, I think, popped a little bit prematurely, but the storms, Papi. Absolutely beautiful. Medivacs is starting to get really low on health as well. ByuN really can't afford to leave them in any sort of vulnerable position to these Phoenixes.
Exactly. The Phoenix is going to be able to chase the majority of this down. Zest just crushes that army. To be fair, he still has to wait a little bit longer to recharge energy for more storms, but regardless, he did keep his High Templar alive, and now he pushes this army all the way back home.
Once again, ByuN starting from round 1.
Pretty much. And where's the backbone of his army? He lost his tank earlier. He went straight into Ghost. Oh, the Storm connects before the EMP.
A couple of Ghosts actually died to that Storm. That is the last thing you want to see happen as the Terran player. ByuN has a decent position here. He's making the most out of his choke point. There's some very nice Widowmine connections. Oh my lord, is ByuN gonna defend? He is!
Ooh, he just barely holds on. His army is so bruised, by the way. Like, he's getting overstimmed. His medevacs are barely alive. More ghosts come out. EMPs do connect with the Stalkers, but not the Zealots. The Zealots just barely trying to close the distance, but ByuN is holding.
Wow. Wow! Still has to worry about the War Prism though. Zest still has a foothold here.
Yeah, like those High Templar are morphed into Archons. A couple more reinforcements are getting picked up. Oh, Archon overextends a little bit, but in come the Stalkers from behind.
Yeah, it's like, you're not getting surrounded by me. I'm getting surrounded by... No, wait. I didn't think that one through. ByuN loses a couple more SCVs. He is still alive, but he ain't living, you know?
Yeah, just the Zealots, they just keep on coming. Like, Zest is just not giving ByuN any room to breathe whatsoever. Like, shout out to ByuN for holding on for as long as he has been. It's been insane. But now the boys are being pulled. Now economic damage is being dealt.
Here's the thing. Zest hasn't been reinforcing this as well as he could have.
Oh my god. Immortal?
Immortal? Gonna get
Wait,
taken out for free?
What?
No.
It survived?
Yep. Living up to its aim.
It's on 4 HP. It has no right to live, but somehow the Immortal survives. The SCV finished him off. It's got 1 kill. The SCV killed the Immortal.
That is a cinematic goddamn shot.
Oh my god.
SCV atop of a pile of Immortal. Jesus.
Like, that SCV deserves a medal, but like, no one's gonna live to tell the tale. Like, no one's gonna be able to survive long enough to let everyone know that that SCV was a hero. Oh god.
Unfortunately not. I mean, ByuN. I'm just looking at the army supplies. Like, ByuN is trading very, very efficiently from the looks of things, but he doesn't have an economy that can really keep this up for much longer.
Yeah.
Zest, again, can continue warping from that warp location, and now, finally, Zest takes a step back. He isn't tunnel visioned anymore.
Yeah.
He focuses on macroing up.
Like,
getting his 4th base up and running.
As you were saying that, like, Zest had like a 2k gas bank. Like, he
yeah.
Like, he was not being he was not macroing efficiently at all. He was tunnel visioning. Now finally Colossus production has commenced. We have our rovers, we have extended thermal lance. Like, finally Zest backs off and he's like, okay, I need to spend my money. At the same time though, ByuN, he's taking the gold. It's like, the gold is the way to come back.
Yeah, actually. This observer got so low. But yeah, the gold is a fantastic way to get back from behind. You do need workers to mine from it though, as the storm drops were devastating here. This one warp prism is still alive.
It's somehow still alive. Oh god. The storms
do blanket the majority of the bio army. These medevacs is so low on energy, they really cannot heal much of anything.
I'm waiting for the...
Like the
no! The whole army hockey!
Yeah, finally that warp prism goes down. Zest is like the anti-patient. He actually keeps his warp prisms alive.
He does, for much longer than they should be, but finally it goes down. Again, that gold base has been taken, but there's still barely any mining going on there, and Zest is in the face of ByuN. Finally, we got Colossus, we got Storm, we got Archons, we got a Gateway Army. We don't have a War Prism. That's the biggest thing missing here, but will it even matter?
Yeah, Zest is up almost twice the army supply of ByuN. It's a really good choke point to utilize for. This is a really good choke point for Colossus and Storms to utilize. I think we're getting our ace match. GG is called. Zest fights back. Maybe gets a reverse sweep. Who knows?
GG, well played. Well played, Zest. He does fight back. Again, like the first two games were questionable, but we see that Zest is finally. He's working up. He's awake. He's paying attention. I was really worried there was a moment there where it looked like we were going to see another base trade, where both armies were missing each other, but Zest turns around. And here we go. This is going to be it. The final game of our series.
Or it will be, as Zest is asking for a quick little break. Waking himself up a little bit more.
Yeah. Love what Steel's saying in the chat. I cannot be killed by a mortal marine. SV, I am no marine. I am no marine. Just stabs him in the face with a drill.
Oh god. That's a terrifying way to go.
Oh god. Hero SCV.
Yeah.
But what a game. Yeah. What a back and forth game we had there. I say back and forth, it was just ByuN defending the entire game, but
exactly. Like looking at who was winning engagements and whatnot, that was back and forth, but there was never a point where Zest lost control of that game at all.
Yeah.
It's in the driver's seat. ByuN was just happy to tag along.
Yeah. You hear that, Dark? You hear that? Zest is in the driver's seat and he didn't let it slip through his fingers? Yeah. Crazy.
Didn't crash into a wall and swerve after swerving.
Oh god. Shaking my head, Dark. Shaking my head.
You just suddenly drive off a bridge.
Oh god. But yeah, I mean, I don't blame the players. You know, Zest is asking for a little bit of a break to get some water, to go to the bathroom. It's been a very intense series, and you know, you want to make sure you're at your best here in the ace match.
Yeah, hydrate your hydras, people. Whether you're a player or a watcher, viewer.
Yes. Posture check, everyone. You know, posture check. Hydrate your hydras. Stretch your roaches. And yeah, I actually haven't checked. You know, what are the bets looking like here? Who do people think is going to take this series now that we're in the ace match?
I have to imagine there are more wagers on ByuN. Awesome. And there aren't actually. It's 100% favorite. It's 100% Zest favorite.
Oh, okay. Let's go.
So whoever, yeah, I was gonna say whoever bet on Zest is gonna make a lot of money, but then I realized,
100%.
It's actually the opposite. Yeah, they may lose a lot of channel points. Not really gonna gain much either. We'll gain a little.
Go. Here we go. You gain the knowledge of knowing that you knew that you predicted correctly. That's what you gain.
Exactly. Yeah, bragging rights.
Yeah, there you go. All right, here we go. We are loading in. Our players have returned. Zest is back. And game 5 is going to be on Glittering Ashes.
Oh boy. Massive open map. Let's see what our players do with it as we conclude our series now on Glittering Ashes. LE. We're in the top right-hand corner of the map, swinging all the way in the top right-hand corner. We of course have our blue Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. Very much a mainstay, a staple, shall we say, of ESL Open Cup Asia. And he's going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Zest.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE, we have the South Korean Terran player representing Shopify Rebellion, and he's crazy! He's a madman! Goodness of you across the map. It is ByuN.
Oh, is it just gonna be first scout?
It's just a roadblock. It's just roadblock.
Yeah.
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 Oh god. I saw that SV, but as soon as it started moving towards the base, I'm like, oh, okay. NG block, right? ByuN, bringing it back.
I see you. That's a lot of probes being pulled to deal with this one block, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, will he get it? No.
Yeah. So ByuN, it looks like he's a part of the club where you pull boys to kill the NG Bay. There are other players that just are like, you know what, I accept my fate. I'm gonna go full ZVP and just take my Nexus at the unnatural natural.
Yeah. If only you could lift the Nexus.
Feels bad, man. Feels bad.
I have made that mistake before.
And mate, if this probe survives,
I see what you see.
I'm feeling Stargate. I'm feeling.
It's gotta be. He's waiting for that cyber core.
The cyber core is done, Yaku. It's done. It's completed.
Dunge. It's getting in position, waiting for the minerals to come in. He spent his minerals on an adept. Yeah, on an adept. But now, there we go.
I love it. I love it because of a couple of things. Because he pulled the boys to deal with the NG Bay to get that Nexus up and running, and that kind of tells a story to ByuN. ByuN's like, okay, you want to be economic, you know, you want to focus on your natural and getting into the mid game and all this stuff, right? Like, this is the last thing that's on his mind.
Hopefully it is, and yeah, but it should be right now.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, I'm disappointed because there is no additional probe here to escalate things. And oh my god, ByuN, he checks and he confirms the proxy. Wow.
Oh, still on his mind at the end of the day, but yeah, I as well am really disappointed that we don't see the shield battery thrown down in this position either. Zest not gonna go for Void Rays then, just gonna try to pump out an Oracle and deal as much worker damage as possible very, very early on.
Oh yeah. But thankfully, because ByuN saw it, and because I don't know if Zest saw that ByuN saw. I think he did because of the probe. Because of the pylon range. But there's already a cyclone on the way. There are already marines being banked up. Like, the likelihood of this Oracle dealing damage isn't very high, and because of that, mate, the Oracle just comes back home.
All right. If nothing else, it can help with these Hellions.
Yeah.
If these Hellions, yeah.
I respect that. Yeah, look at him go.
Yeah.
Zest, he's like, hey, you saw me. This isn't gonna deal damage. I'm not gonna throw away my Oracle. I'm gonna keep it alive, and we're gonna find some value for it later on.
Yeah, who knows? Stasis wards, man, can be invaluable in the defense.
There you go. Beautiful. Yep, that it will. Meanwhile, Zest is transitioning from his Stargate opener, as quote-unquote Stargate opener. He is looking to transition into Blink Stalkers. ByuN, on the other side of things, I'm really curious to see how he plays this out. Actually going for a 3-racks.
Huh. A 3x follow-up, mind you, from the initial 1-1. Still no starport yet? Okay, there we go. There's the starport. And it looks like while he had a little bit of an awkward path to get here, ByuN is still gonna do what he likes to do in TvP, which is get upgrades, get medevacs, push.
Yep. Pretty much. He's going to be working on a timing. As soon as his medevacs are done, he's going to be zooming across the map. That's why we have a reactor on this factory for that add-on switch for those 2 medevacs. And then we're going to be seeing some drops. And at the moment, this has gone unscattered. Despite the fact that Zest has this Oracle, he hasn't been using that revelation. He revealed the natural, sure, but he hasn't checked the main. Not yet.
And that can definitely be pretty worrisome, but you have to imagine that Zest is probably playing with the assumption that ByuN wants to go for a timing again. I mean, that's pretty much been his whole MO throughout this series.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, here we go. We have high ground vision. We do not have a tank. The bio is here at the natural, and we're going to be seeing a blink into the... Oh! No, he doesn't go for it. Oh, he goes for it!
Pounces right on top of these, I almost said Colossus, Cyclones. Will be able to keep the Oracles alive. Not too many losses here for Zest.
Yeah, not bad. He loses 1 Stalker for 2 Cyclones. Honestly, pretty worth it. And oh my god, Zest he just doesn't stop.
I love it.
I love it too. Zest, he's also become one of the more aggressive players. ByuN, he was just about to go for a drop, but the Stalkers have something to say about that. They go forward, they take out the bunker, and the Oracle gets into the main!
Already taking out a decent chunk of the workers.
Yeah. Again, I love it, right? Like, he sniped both Cyclones. The Cyclones, that was the anti-Oracle unit that ByuN had in his main. And with the death of those Cyclones, that means, hey, Zest opened up with the Oracle. Now, finally, he can kill some probes, some SCVs.
How many kills does that Oracle actually have? Imagine quite a few.
5?
5? Not bad.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh god, at the same time, finally the double drop gets across the map, and it doesn't just get across the map, it is able to take out one of these pylons. Ooh, maybe even delay charge.
Delay. Oh. He will be able to delay charge. 0.6 seconds remaining.
Wow.
Maybe able to flat out deny charge from here on.
Yeah, and that's huge because ByuN, he's pushing towards this natural base as well. Like, charge is so necessary at this point in the game. Zealots are being warped in, but they're going to be slow lots.
Like so. Cannon and shield battery going to be depowered. Blink will be enough to chase this army away. Not quite enough to take everything out, though. Finally, charge finishes up. And it's extra important because that's going to be the only unit Zest can warp in as well.
Oh yeah, Cybercore gets sniped, so no more Stalkers, no more Adepts either. Meanwhile, quickly checking the vision of ByuN. ByuN has not seen the Dark Shrine. Even though he was in the main base, he just barely was out of range. So DTs, they can definitely change the tide of the battle. What do we have here in the bases? Despite the Oracle opening, no missile turrets are in position.
None whatsoever. Not in position to deny to protect the mineral line, not really in position to grant vision in the edges either. ByuN just going for it.
Yeah, he's just sending it across the map. What do we have at home to defend? We do have charge, but we don't have any splash damage. No Colossus, no Disruptors, just pure Gateway army. But DTs are about to swipe and about to reveal themselves.
So roll on in. Such a delay on that third base too.
Oh god, no, the SCVs!
There's detection here, just nothing to really clean up the DT, unfortunately. Alright, ByuN still with a very powerful force. As you were saying, no splash damage, but a massive flank of Blink Stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. The charge lots come in. The charge lots are eventually going to be dealt with. And oh god, the Blink Stalkers don't have too much of a buffer, so ByuN, he could try and keep going from here, but he lost a decent chunk of his army. He will back off.
Yeah, he just wants to regroup at this point.
That was a great engagement by Zest. Like, coming in from behind with those Stalkers and sniping those medevacs. That was great.
Absolutely. Denies a little bit more drop potential and just overall puts a wrench in the push of ByuN. Still a very scary army though. I would not want to underestimate what he's got right now. If I was Zest.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he's delayed his robo so much. Finally, we have a robo on the way here. We still need a robotics bay. Once that's done, like, we're still just relying on pure gateway, and that's such a scary position to be in. I also don't know how I feel about Blink. Blink DT just finished up. I know, mate. We'll see.
Indeed, we shall. By the way, it's not just gateway unit. Okay, he has to made a side before.
Yeah.
I was very worried for a second. I missed in the structure tab.
Oh god.
Well, there is detection, there is a liberator, but unfortunately that liberator cannot kill the DTs quick enough. Zest will collapse on top of all of this. Beautiful force field to cut the entire army in two. So many Widow Mines, just not part of the action.
Mate. That whole position was beautiful. Finally, the Widow Mine shots are going to go off, but at this point, it doesn't even matter. Everything will be cleaned up. The patience that Zest had there with that whole position was insane.
He even snipes a medevac full of units, too.
God, and now here we go. Now he's getting ready to counterattack and push out across the map. He has to be careful not to overextend, but he does have that Oracle. Again, it's still alive from earlier.
Yeah. Well, Oracle who could. Being as annoying as possible with it to just try to split some of the attention and some of the focus of ByuN.
Yeah. I mean, a decent chunk of SUVs were just stasis. Meanwhile, we have 4 Blink DTs headed towards that natural base. Another stasis being set up. A little bit premature.
Yeah, it only gets about 4 SUVs, unfortunately. That's why you get Blink on the DTs.
Yeah, like, what's important is that because of how active Zest has been with this army, ByuN has been stuck at home. He's been stuck trying to defend all of his bases, and now finally we have double robot production. Finally we have a robotics bay. Finally we have some Colossus.
It's like that. Zest is getting stable once again. A shaky start, but now he ain't shaking.
Oh yeah. That would be a great Korean name, by the way.
Shaken?
Stable.
Or shake. Stable.
Yeah. I would say either stable or unstable. I mean, both work. Like, you could use both for a player called Stable. It's great.
I want Stable to be the most unhinged
yeah.
player out there.
You might can change your name to Stable, mate. Let's
yeah.
go. Oh god. Meanwhile, these Stalkers do get caught out, and a decent chunk of them do get sniped by this bio army. But at the same time, DTs, do not find a way in, and neither does this. Oh, no, never mind. The Oracle did.
Yep. Same Oracle from the start of the game. Just want to remind everyone.
Jesus Christ. It's done so much throughout all of this. But now, ByuN has had enough. He's like, you know what? I just want to push out. I've got my... Oh god, no! What? Ghost gets sniped!
Don't want to be making too many more mistakes like that if you're ByuN. A couple of decent EMPs, but EMP's just outside of, just within the range of shield batteries, so it's not the biggest of deals, honestly, for the Protoss player to lose some shields. Is ByuN winning this engagement?
Mate, the 3 Colossus rock up just like Chads, and they don't even care. They're like, yo, we're finally here, boys, let's go. And GG gets called. Zest, he takes game number 5, takes the series, and he will be our ESL Open Cup champion.
How did we just get 2 reverse sweeps in a row? For different players, jeez.
I don't know what's in the water like today. I don't know what's happening over in Korea, but
everyone's just unhinged now.
Yeah. Just what a wild day of StarCraft. If you just tuned in for the finals, I recommend tuning into not just the VODs of this series, but also ByuN versus Dark. These 2 series had a lot of similarities where it was very chaotic. Very chaotic.
I guess we can thank ByuN for that.
Yeah, I guess so. A lot of fun, very entertaining.
I'm nodding my head in agreement. Oh wait, no, you can't. We have cams now.
We do have cams. We do have cams. And with that, congratulations to Zest. The way that he was able to pull ByuN apart, the amount of value that one Oracle got. And he just went full Protoss, you know, Oracles, proxies, DTs, and he closed it all off with some solid Colossus.
Indeed, he did. The backbone of any Protoss army, really, at the end of the day. All about this Colossus, and yeah, I do feel like this is going to be a lot of, I want to say discussion, but what I really mean is that I don't think it's going to be hard to forget game number 2 and 3 in particular, especially game number 2.
Yeah, the base trade on Berlingrad.
Yep.
I was so scared we were going to get it again. I was so scared on Pride of Altaris. I was like, no.
I was ready for it. I was like, yeah.
Oh god, that would have been a 3-0 for ByuN. That would have been a 3-0 if we had.
Would it?
I mean, if he had won the base trade, to be fair.
Exactly, because this time, Zest actually had anti-air or sky units.
True. Oh god, but yeah. With that, congratulations not just to Zest, but all of our players here today. It was great to see them. It was great to see some Southeast Asian and Oceanic players being a little bit more active. Like we had ByuN, we had Demi. We also had Oreo as well, which is always a treat to see here.
Yeah, we missed it last week, but we got it this week. Unfortunately, this week we did miss Ryung and True, but yeah, maybe we'll get him next week.
Yeah, I look forward to eventually casting True on this channel. We're massive True fans. There's a lot of history between us and True, and it would be great to catch some of his games and see how he's performing. Obviously, he's been streaming pretty frequently recently, and he's been looking pretty impressive. We have sometimes.
Oh no, with a mic, but he just forgets it.
He forgets to unmute sometimes.
Yeah. And you can see him speak.
God damn it, True Shakes. Nothing has changed. I thought the military would straighten you out. No, mate, it just made it worse.
He eats even more snacks now.
Oh god, the snack zerg is back. Let's go. Oh god, it's again great to have True back. And hopefully, yeah, we get to cast him on this channel. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Congratulations to the one player who bet on Zest.
True. I almost forgot. Yeah. That one viewer. And yeah, with that, I don't know, do you have anything else you want to add about today's tournament, how it went, you know, being back to casting ESL Asia? Wait, it's 2022?
I have to say, I mean, it was great. I mean, we got a pretty solid 4.5 hours with basically no downtime today. A lot of very action-packed games going on. And I guess it's also just great to be able to follow ByuN for this many series.
Yeah.
It's been a while since we were able to cast 3 series with ByuN in a row.
Yeah, we were talking about it before about like consistent players in ESL Asia and who's going to take that mantle from Zest. And it could be someone like ByuN. Like we're seeing a little bit more from him recently. It's always great to see more Terran representation, but it also, to me, it kind of feels like, I don't know, maybe like before the tournament, the Terrans decide who they're going to send out. Like,
who is our representative this week?
Yeah, this week is going to be ByuN, you know, next 3 weeks is going to be Cure, week after that Bunny is going to come out, you know. It's like, I feel like rarely do we have them all come out at once, which I appreciate because that means less TBTs, but it would be nice to see everyone come together.
Just 2 on the opposite ends of the bracket, you know. That's all we want.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Well, nice. Got walked over today.
He did. He didn't even show today. Didn't even show. Shaking my head. But yeah, for those who enjoyed the broadcast today, we cast ESL Open Cup Asia almost every single week. Of course, we missed out last week, but that's because we had other commitments to cast another tournament. I think regardless, there is going to be plenty of StarCraft on this channel, so yeah, be sure to hit that follow button. Check us out.
Slowly just getting back into the swing of things. Our own events will be coming back soon, TM-ish, depending on 1, the API, and 2, scheduling.
Yes, yes. I'm pretty sure our amateur events are going to come back first. We have plans for our other weekly tournaments that we still need to finalize. We'll eventually get around to them. But yeah, definitely look forward to them. I would say should be coming back at the end of January, at the latest, beginning of February is when the rest of our tournaments will be returning. So look forward to it.
There we go.
Mark it on your
I will.
calendars. Yes.
I already have.
Google Calendars. There you go. But with that, thank you everyone for tuning in. It was a great tournament. Thank you so much, Yaku, for joining me today. I know it's in the...
Thank you.
The tournament starts like at dawn in Singapore on your sleep schedule, and it's not
wake up pretty early.
It's not about when you wake up. It's
like
about
it.
how much sleep you get. Okay.
I'll record that.
God damn it. But yeah, with that, I know Yaku, you're gonna be very busy with classes and school for the next couple of weeks, right?
I may have accidentally overloaded my semester.
You know, we warned you about that. We're like, mate, pace yourself. Don't take too much too quickly. You know, like, oh god.
I think I'll be fine.
Okay. In the next couple of days, I expect to hear some screaming. Expect to like, oh god, help!
In a Discord server, I'll be screaming, not streaming. Or maybe I'll be streaming my streaming sesh.
There you go. If you want to be a part of that, !socials in the chat to get a link to not just our Discord, but all of our social medias, so you can be there when Yaku is freaking out and having a panic attack over his studies and classes. It's going to be great. It's going to be beautiful.
Right now, if you sub to the CranKy Ducklings Twitch channel, you too can help with my homework.
There you go. So yes, with that, we are done. Of course, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. We post whenever we go live, and we have been uploading videos daily. We just uploaded during that final game. It looks like we're getting through BTL, our BTL buds.
Yeah, we're actually catching up to the very recent events that we casted.
Yeah, it helps that we slowed down in December and January. At the moment, our VODs are currently getting into November, so we're like right around the corner.
Yeah. Like, there's a massive gap, I think, between April and
like August, September.
August-ish, yeah. August, September-ish, but yeah, slowly but surely. Catching right back up.
Yes.
Pretty soon, we're going to be uploading the VOD for this tournament.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. All the VODs are available on Twitch and will eventually be available on YouTube. And
then DreamHack's going to come along and we're going to have to take another break.
Yeah, it's going to ruin it all.
Uploading. Yep.
Shake my head. Every time, mate. Every time. Well, to be fair, like, they recently announced DreamHack and they got rid of DreamHack Fall, if I'm not wrong, right?
Yeah, which I'm personally pretty grateful for. I mean,
yeah.
The amount of time between DreamHack Fall and Winter was basically non-existent.
Well, summer, fall, and winter, like that's
summer, fall. Yeah.
Yeah, like
really the thing.
Our biggest complaint was that it's like you have like a 3-month break because of Katowice, and then when summer starts, it doesn't end. It's like summer, then like 1 week, and then the fall qualifiers, and then 1 week, and then the winter qualifiers are just, it's like a massive chunk, and it's intense.
It really is. That's global warming for you. Never-ending summer.
Never ends. F's in the chat for Tasia.
Yeah. Is it F's in the chat for Tasia?
I mean, you know, summer never ends, but he's not here to take advantage of it, you know?
No.
Feels bad, man.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Oh boy.
Yes, with regardless, you know, we're going to be here with plenty of StarCraft, Korean, Oceanic, Southeast Asian, even a little bit of European. We've been a little bit more active on that front as well. And North American and Latin American, as always. And with that, thank you everyone for watching. Thank you so much for the support. And Yaku, do you have anything else you want to add?
Let's come up with names? Question mark. Trying to link it back to something earlier on.
We'll see you guys next time. Ciao.
Bella. That's a good name, actually.